My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Ratchet and Clank, the 2002 game. This ain't a review for the remake that came out back in 2015, 2016 or something like this. This is a review for the 2002 original that came out on the PlayStation 2, but I played it remastered on the PS3. Hope that clears things up. So I'm actually quite a fan of Ratchet and Clank games. I've played Tools of Destruction, A Clank in Time. I think that's it, but I've still really enjoyed those two games. So I'm like, why not play one of the originals? So I decided to, and it's definitely, it has aged. I will say that I still like the characters. They're fun characters. I like Ratchet, I like Clank, and I like Dr. Nefarious, and oh man, I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy in the green suit. I like him. I think all the characters are fun and have big personality. I like how creative the weapons are. Like, you just got some weird and really wacky weapons that I kind of dug about it. And I do like how some of the enemies progress as the game progresses. Like, there's an enemy that once you shoot it, it's like a big slime monster and it turns into two slime monsters. And if you shoot it again, it turns into two more slime monsters. And like how, but each time it multiplies, but it gets smaller and weaker. I just love stuff like that. There's lots of creativity in its enemies. And there are moments where I was having a fun time, but like I said, it hasn't really aged well. The graphics definitely do not hold up by any standard. They look pretty bad. But there's just so many frustrating elements that kind of turn me off from playing any of the other old Ratchet and Clank games. And first of all, there's a severe lack of checkpoints, and I hate that. If you die, you pretty much have to go all the way back to the beginning. It's just frustrating, and I hate it. Number two is you have a ridiculously low level of health. If you get hit 4 times, then you're dead. And then you gotta go all the way back. So that whole element really peed me off. And whenever you load your file, you have to go back to the spaceship. So I just, like that stuff really annoyed me. You play as Ratchet for most of the game, and then at one point I'm just like, oh, am I going to play as Clank now? I'm like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And playing as Clank is the most unfun thing ever. It is stupid. It is not fun. It should not have happened. Playing as Clank just slows the game to a complete halt. And I'm just like, I just want to be done with this section. Not fun. And there's just no linear route to go. You can always miss stuff so easily. And then you'll be like, what am I missing? Oh, did I miss out from that planet? I have to go back. And that kind of stuff I just find to be very frustrating. It's just like I want to move ahead. I want to move ahead in a linear fashion, but I kept having to go back because I kept missing stuff, and they allowed you to go on without that stuff at the time. So later, when I'm already past that part and I had to go back, I'm just like, why didn't they tell me that I was missing that stuff there? Just frustrating. And there's a hoverboard race, which was just... Maybe I'm just off of this game. I just found it frustratingly difficult. It was at that point where you're just like, oh, I keep losing. That's it. I'm no longer having fun. That hoverboard race was definitely that for me. I was not having a good time.
Oh, I'm straight up not having a good time.
The gameplay is very repetitive. Every planet is pretty much the exact same. You go through it, go back to your spaceship, go to a different planet, and repeat the same thing over and over again. It's very repetitive. And there's just not much there in the story department. Like, I like the characters, but the story department itself is pretty messy. Like, the story's just jumping all over the place. It's a mess. And then, like, you'll have a cutscene that lasts 8 seconds, and then it fades out, and then another cutscene begins that lasts 10 seconds, and then another cutscene that lasts, like, 15 seconds. And it's just so messy. And it's just like, oh my goodness. Just get going. Look, the times have changed and so have I. If I had played this game when it first came out, I'm sure I would have had a blast. But I just didn't have a good time with this game. I don't see myself ever replaying it, and I don't see myself ever revisiting any of the other older Ratchet and Clank games. I'll play Tools of Destruction and A Clank in Time, but that's really about it because this game just turned me off from playing all of the older games. I just think the gameplay was repetitive, it was messy. I just didn't have fun playing it. I just thought there were too many elements that I found frustrating and not fun. It has aged and not in a good way, so I'm gonna go ahead and give the 2002 Ratchet and Clank game a 4 out of 10. Okay, have you played the 2002 Ratchet and Clank game? Let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin out.